Welcome to Leader Lifestyle Hub, where we have targeted for 200 book summaries in the entire year to enhance every day. On this journey, we came here to 37th book summary. And the name of the book that we have today is The Big Leap. Okay. Let me know whether my screen is getting visible. I think so. Screen is visible. Is my screen visible?
No.
No. Okay. Okay. Let me share it again. Basic. Okay, just a minute. Zoom screen recording. Privacy, sorry.
What is the book name?
The Big Leap. Just a minute, I'm restarting.
Okay.
So, welcome. Let me share my screen now. I think so now it is visible. It will get visible now. Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Made changes from the system. Great. Sorry for the delay. Welcome to Leader Lifestyle Hub, where we are targeted for 200 book summaries in the entire year on the journey of 200 book summaries. Here we come on 37th book. The name of the book that we have today is The Big Leap. Here I would like to share only two things from this book. One is top 3 lessons and 4 zones of working. So let us start without any delay. Top 3 lessons of this book. We don't believe we deserve to be happy all the time. So we cap our levels of joy for no reason. We don't believe we deserve to be happy all the time. So we cap our levels of joy for no reason. As we think so that our joy will become like that. Fear and self-sabotage are the 2 common ceilings we can break through with the right attitudes and exercises. Remember this. If you are fearing or if you are self-sabotaging, these are the 2 things you can break through with the right attitude and exercises. When it comes to work, we can be in 4 zones, but only one is worth shooting for. Remember another powerful lesson. When it comes to work, we can be in 4 zones, but only one is worth shooting for. Then let us see what are the 4 zones of work while we are doing every day. These are the 4 zones of work. Let us see each and every one. Zone of incompetence. You suck at the task. Many people can do it better than you. This is first zone of task or working. While in this zone, you are working on one particular task for a long time, but it is not happening according to you. But many other people can do it very simple, better than you. Second zone is zone of competence. Zone of competence is you are all right, but lots of others cope better. You are good enough, but a lot of other things can be coped better, enhancements. The third zone is zone of excellence. You are highly skilled and few can hold a candle for you. Means even though you are highly skilled, but you need support from others. That is called zone of excellence. the final zone, which is very important zone of work, which is nothing but zone of genius. You are literally the best in the world at it. So what are the four zones? Incompetence, competence, excellence, and genius. Four zones are important, but only one is worth shooting it. Means at the time of work, only one will be suitable for you. So select one zone of work and work accordingly. So in a day, there might be lots of timings where you will be into the genius mode, where you will be into the excellence mode, where you will feel incompetence mode, and here you feel competence mode. Find out your zone and work accordingly. That is the main essence of the book, The Big Leap. Let us see from the blog perspective of these three lessons in detail. So let us start the targeted audience first. The book, The Big Leap, written by Gay Hendricks, and it is targeted for 17-year-old with plenty of spare time, means free time, to figure out her career trajectory if only she tries. Means if someone who are looking for their career trajectory, means to find out what is their dream career. The 52-year-old who is battled up with marriage issues for over a decade now, and anyone who regularly struggles with the imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome is what might happen in the future. Let us see the small synopsis. This book is all about changing your overall perspective so you can embrace a philosophy that it will help you achieve your full potential in work, relationships, finance, and all other walks of life. Let us listen from the author Gay Hendricks. If I cling to the notion that is something is not possible, I am arguing in favor of limitation. And if I argue for my limitations, I get to keep them. Remember this. If I focus on something is not possible, I am arguing my limitation, means I am explaining about my limitations. And if I argue on my limitations, I get to keep them. I need to maintain the limitations for a long time. So never think about something is not possible. Everything is possible only by rigorous practice and actions. Let us see the small review. This review was written by Nick from his blog from 4minutebooksummaries.com. This book is for more on the motivational side, but it does hold practical exercises as well. If you are stuck on making a big decision, suppose you are about to take a big decision, but if you are stuck on that, or if you are fed up with your own perspective on life, then the Big Leap book is a good read to pick up for you. 2 years ago, Nick was in the middle of a massive email list campaign trying to reach 10,000 subscribers from ground zero. About 5 months into the project, multiple efforts started to kick in simultaneously, and suddenly he was on an exponential growth curve. Having piled up a few successes, he was floored when he found out he would be featured to over 1 lakh people on another newsletter. It almost felt too good to be true. So sure enough, he sent an incredibly stupid, unreflected email and blew it all. Boom. Right back to the slow, painstaking pace he was on before. He was always wondered why he did that. It was completely unnecessary. However, he finally found the answer in Gay Hendricks' book, The Big Leap. Gay is a Stanford psychologist who is co-authored over 35 books with his wife, and he is famous for his work in relationships and mindfulness. This book is all about mindfulness, and the author is expert in relationships and mindfulness. Let us see the top 3 lessons from this book. This book is his most popular. It outlines a philosophy of life aimed at maximizing your potential, which is nothing but your mindfulness. Here are the 3 lessons from it that struck with me. We don't believe we deserve to be happy all the time, so we cap our levels of joy for no reason. So due to lack of belief, we limiting our level of joy. Second lesson is fear and self-sabotage are 2 common ceilings we can break through with the right attitudes and exercises. When it comes to work, we can be in 4 zones, but only one is worth shooting for. Ready to jump out of the fish bowl and into the open sea? It's time for a big leap. Lesson number 1. We artificially limit our happiness because we don't think we deserve to have it all. Remember that? We artificially limiting our happiness because we don't think we deserve to have happiness at all. In the 19th century, in the early 19th century, engineers figured out how to use steam engines to power wheels, and thus the steam locomotive was born. First, used only to transport goods and resources from one place to another place, people quickly discovered it had a great means of transport as well. However, due to the state of science at that time in the 19th century, early adopters suggested to never run trains at more than 30 miles per hour, for the human bodies on board would just explode. Yes, you read that right. Folks genuinely believed their bodies would explode if they went faster than 30 miles per hour. Luckily, some madman decided to go 31 anyway, and here we are, driving cars that exceed 280 miles per hour. What's the lesson here? How much is possible is often limited only by how much we try. This is a powerful statement. Write down on your digital diary or your digital notes. How much is possible is often limited only by how much we try. Again, repeating, how much is possible is limited only by how much we try. So if you try a big faith or big leap, you will definitely achieve what you desire. A similar story is one of the Roger Bannister breaking the 4-minute mile. This is a crazy example. It was believed to be physically impossible before, but once he did it, others quickly followed. There was 4-minute running race, means 100 meters or like 1 kilometer race, and in that the best record was 4 minutes. And Roger Bannister was a man who wants to hit that mark within 3.5 seconds, 3 minutes 50 seconds, and he made it happen within 3 minutes 50 seconds, where other people thought it can't be beaten. So it was believed to be physically impossible to complete that 1 kilometer race within 4 minutes, but when Roger Bannister showed it, he can do that, others quickly followed whatever he followed the principles. In the same vein, how often we are happy and how long that happiness lasts doesn't need to be defined by what we think is normal. In the happiness hypothesis, Jonathan Haidt explained that we all have a biological happiness set point to which we tend to regress, but he too believes we can rise that baseline. The powerful question comes here. Ask yourself, how much of your unhappiness comes from your belief that it has to be there? How much of your unhappiness comes from your belief that it has to be there? Answer your questions by yourself. So you will get the overall score out of 1 to 10, how much your unhappiness comes from your belief. Let us see the lesson number 2. 2 common upper limits of our life are fear and self-sabotage. So why did I blow my relationship with the people who wanted to promote the heck out of me? I sabotaged myself. That's it. Since we have this subconscious idea of how much happiness we deserve, we tend to ruin ourselves for no apparent reason. If things start going too well for us, Hendricks, the author, calls this an upper limit mindset, as a result of which we create a fake drama and unnecessary problems. Often we do this in the another area of life. Say, let us say, example, love. If you are doing well financially, it means if you are doing financially, you might be thinking about the problems of love or relationships. If you are good in relationships, you might be thinking about the problems of financial. However, this is usually a sign of you letting you guard down and then making a careless mistake, rather than actually screwing up without meaning so. So, if you are on a winning streak, just make sure you keep your ego in check. Don't get cocky and you will be fine. Another common upper limit is fear. As I hope so, self-sabotage is clear. Means if you are good in something and you are thinking about other things which you are not good in, that is called self-sabotaging. And the second limit is fear. There is a long and famous quote by Marianne Williamson that our worst fear is not that of failure, but that we are powerful beyond measure. Remember this one more quotation, or take it down digital notes. Our worst fear is not that of failure, but that we are powerful beyond that measure. It makes sense. If you knew and accepted that you have all you need to live up to your potential, that leaves you with no excuse not to. Since fear is not something you can rid yourself of completely, Hendricks suggests breathing into it. Quoting German psychologist Fritz Perls, who said that fear is excitement without the breath. Another powerful quotation. Fear is the excitement without the breath. Usually our breath gets shorter when we are scared. Observe or take an experimentation. Whenever you fear of something, just observe your breath at the time. Your breath will get shorter. To counteract this, you can take back control by breathing slowly and deeply. If you are about to give a presentation, suppose you have a stage fear and you are about to give a presentation, let us take an example of this. This will help you to turn stress into energy and deliver a great presentation or a great talk. Why I am saying this? There are two people I remember right now. One person is Steve Jobs. He prepared the presentation for a long time. Even he has the stage fear in the initial days, but when he present that, he was flawless and he was fully energetic. How it has happened? Because of he practiced the breathing techniques. Even Swami Vivekananda in the American speech, before giving his talk, he took the breathing. So remember that whenever you are going for presentation, if you have stage fear, just practice the breathing technique, breathe slowly and deeply and go ahead. You will have a great talk without any fear. Let us move on to the lesson number 3. There are 4 zones of work, and zone of genius is where we should strive to be. Transferring this idea of lasting happiness to your career, Hendricks claims work should not really feel like work. Remember this, work should not really feel like work. Work should be feeling like a play. You want time to flow by for a few hours and emerge inspired, ready to pick up where you left off for the next day. To achieve this, you need to work in what Hendricks calls as your zone of genius. It's one of the 4 different stages of work: zone of incompetence, zone of competence, zone of excellence, zone of genius. These are the 4 zones. Incompetence means you are unable to complete the task. Competence means you are able to complete, but there is a scope of improvement. Excellence means you are highly skilled, but you need a few others' help to achieve the task. And genius is you are already master in your task, the best in your task. This might sound like a tall order, but remember the first lesson. you can never know what you can pull off if you don't try. Remember this powerful quotation, take it on digital notes. You can never know what you can pull off if you don't try. If you don't try, you cannot pull off anything. So remember, you can never know what you can pull off if you don't try. And also keep in mind that you can pick a very narrow field and only serve a small group of people, and the definition will still hold. If you don't try, you cannot pull off. If you try, you can pull off. So what are you waiting for? If you are not going to choose yourself, who will choose for you? It's time to take a leap. Thank you so much. See you in another book summary tomorrow. Until then, stay connected, keep progressing.